For this problem, we're going to graph another trigonometric function by hand. We need to graph y equals tangent of negative x plus pi over 4 and then plus 2. We're going to do that using our techniques for transformations. We're going to identify our base function. Our base function in this case will be the tangent of x. To get to the graph of our given function from the graph of our base function, we need to first shift the graph of our base function to the left by pi over 4 units. So the plus pi over 4 tells us to do. Next, we're going to reflect about the y-axis. Remember, that means we change x to negative x. That's what this tells us to do. And then the third thing we're going to do is shift the graph up 2 units. And that's what this plus 2 out here tells us to do. So we'll go to another page to do our graph. So here we have our given function. We're going to start off by graphing our base function, the tangent of x. We'll put in our asymptotes first. So negative pi over 2, pi over 2, and 3 pi over 2. We're just going to graph a couple of periods here. The tangent of x goes through the origin, so we have the point 0, 0. It's also going to go through the point pi over 0. So we'll have the point pi, 0. And we can sketch the graph, the tangent. So the tangent is going to look something like this. Now that we have the graph of our base function, we're going to apply our transformations to get the graph of the given function. We're going to apply our transformations to the 2 points that we've plotted and also to our vertical asymptotes. We can start with this vertical asymptote. That's at negative pi over 2. If we shift left pi over 4 units, puts us at negative 3 pi over 4. We need to reflect that around the y-axis, so that'll put us over here at positive 3 pi over 4. And shifting up or down does not affect the vertical asymptote, so we'll go ahead and get our vertical asymptote here. We can look at this vertical asymptote. If we shift left pi over 4 units, puts us here at pi over 4. Reflect around the y-axis, puts us at negative pi over 4, and again, shifting up or down does not affect that, so we'll have an asymptote here. Our third asymptote, we shift pi over 4 units to the left. That puts us at 5 pi over 4. We reflect around the y-axis, puts us at negative 5 pi over 4. And so we get an asymptote there. Next, we'll apply our transformations to the 2 points. 0, 0, we go left pi over 4 units. Reflect around the y-axis. And then we're going to shift up 2 units. That puts us right there. And so this point will be pi over 4, 2. Our second point, pi, 0, we shift left pi over 4 units, reflect around the y-axis, go up 2 units, and that puts us right about there. And that is negative 3 pi over 4, 2. Now we need to sketch the curve. We need to remember that we want to get this shape. The tangent is increasing. If we shift to the left, we're still increasing, but when we do our reflection, we end up decreasing, going the other way. So we're going to sketch our graph. It looks like this. And something like that. So there's 2 periods of our given function.